Defeating an enemy adds finance points. That's kind of nice. Summon elementals. Okay. Let's take a look at the map. Okay. Is go to is last. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the Hell Knights first, then. Someone on the road. Okay. Chief Soul. Slowly, barely moving, a formless figure shuffles toward you. When it finally draws near, you realize it's Chief Soul. The state of him, the wound, has desiccated him, drained him of his last vestiges of strength. Just checking my phone. His clothes are caked in blood. His eyes are glazed and rolling in his head, and black saliva trickles from his limply gaping mouth. Soul, is this really you? Soul, what are you doing here? Commander, to Dresden. I'm going to Dresden. Need together. Rescue. Easy, easy. We'll rescue everyone, alright, Soul? The commander's back. Everything's going to be fine. Where are the other mongrels? Savamelech, his lair. They're all here, all there. You know where Savamelech's lair is? There. Not himself. We need to get him to the healers first. Maybe he'll remember something once he gets some rest. Yeah, we'll escort him. Alright, what happened? What happened to the mongrels while I was gone? Nothing unusual at first. We were just living our lives, but then the whole tribe got stricken with something. It's like a disease. Your arms ache, your legs ache, it tears you from the inside. Nobody knew anything about it. And then, one night, we all woke up. Can't remember what came next. I remember opening my eyes and I'm walking out the gate. The guard stopped me, and I stay. Lady Anivia's orders. He doesn't believe me, and I just grab him. And oh, I don't remember. I really don't. Like a nightmare it was. I remember us walking a long way. Remember the white eyes of a demon. People screaming. Sickening to remember. I can guess what was happening there. Savamelek performed his vile ritual again. Yes, he fed them human flesh. When that wasn't enough for some, he would sting them with his poison. Those who survived became something else. Why were you wandering alone in the wound? Mold, weak, good for nothing. Not even for being a demon's slave. It poured blood down my throat, and still, I couldn't get the power all our tribesmen got. So the demon just said, "Begone, carrion. Let the wound kill you. You're on your last legs all the same. Useless I am." You're not useless. Savamelek underestimated you, but you beat him. You survived, and you made the journey back. All I could ever wish for is to be half as tough as you are, Soul. Remember where he's holed up? Yes. Valley of Temples. Something about a city hanging over a rift, an ancient city. City of Iz. It's a funny coincidence that we need to go there anyway, although it's not much of a surprise, really. The demons are either cowards or idiots. So that's probably why Savamelek is sticking close to Iz, so he can turn tail and run back to his friends if things get ugly. How are you feeling? I'm done, Commander. My service is over. He said his poison makes us stronger, but our body can't take it. My time is short. If only I could know that my tribe will return. Then I could lie down and die in peace. I'll bring your people back. We will, Chief. I've sworn to destroy Savamelek, no matter what it takes, and I'll keep my word. Maybe you can't. Maybe there's no bringing them back anymore. Whoever's poisoned is poisoned forever. But seeing them before I go, even like that, would be a blessing. Hey now. Commander's already promised you that we'll get everyone back. Don't make him reconsider. And don't you go dying on us before we get back, you hear? Well, he's gonna die. One way or another. Okay. We're already here, so we might as well. Play a joke and not Takula. What did we have to do? Oh, yeah. I remember now. Memory of a goldfish. Chili Creek. Please help me. He's gone crazy. He will kill him. What happened? Remember Jurna, the cleric who came to our village a year ago? Locals weren't very welcoming to him back then. After all, he was a stranger who was preaching about a strange new god. But little by little, he became one of us. He went fishing alongside us. He told the people stories about their crusade. He told us about meeting you and seeing the queen, and the songs he used to sing. It just made you want to stop and listen. Well, eventually, we became very close. We started to plan a wedding. My brother didn't seem to mind at first, but after we got married, well, that's when he lost it. He became violent. He threatened to hurt us. I tried to talk to him, but we even thought about leaving the village. But when my brother found out, he lost his mind completely. Markle is strong, and no one else in the village dares to challenge him. It was a miracle that I managed to escape, but my husband is still there. I didn't make it out of the village. I don't know what's happened to him. All right, we'll deal with it. Which mythic path? Go devil. I don't hear of a lot of people going devil. Is there an option to speed this up? Doesn't look. It's just so slow. Okay.
I got this.
Good sneak attack. Easy peasy. Of course, there's got to be something else here. Question is, where? There. Jesus.
Here we go.
Oh, we keep moving. The devil himself was born. Blockade of reinforcements. I mean, what? Nicknames for the devil? Leviathan, the devil of envy. Let's see. Nurgle is the Babylonian god of Hades. Samael, Sammael, it's Hebrew, the venom of God. Typhon, Typhon, Greek personification of Satan. Nurgle, the Babylonian god of Hades. Those are the ones that stand out to me. Yeah. Okay. Good night. Crispy. Shaitad, Arabic for Satan. Oof. Oh, they're sturdy, so that's good. Get him. Beautiful. We still got it. So I think those assassins are going to be pretty damn deadly once we get a nice stack of them. It's gonna be a little rough. Ooh, shit. We fucked up. We really fucked up. I would, but that's just me. All right, let's reload this fight. Gotta protect our melee a little bit better, or ranged. Good hit. Okay. No! Stupid son of a bitch. right, we're going to be able to put our water elemental here. Good. Take them out. Shit. I mean, if you have a feat selection that you could spare for it. But if there's more important things to take, you know, take that instead. It's all about priorities. Slowly but surely getting there. Luckily, we keep stunning them, so that's good. And boom goes the diamond. Beautiful. Revealing all the secrets and tricks of the enemy. Interesting. No movement points left. Okay.
You've marched me to the bones today.
Yeah, we probably should camp, huh? Potion of heal. Yes, please. Demon Slayer soup.
Steady on, Dayron. They are perfectly ordinary mosquitoes. They are not spreading disease. And they will not bite you on the face. They wouldn't dare.
Welcome to the never-ending game. That's okay with me. But there very much isn't it. Commander, what happened to you? This village, so beautiful, so peaceful, so many good people living here. How you doing, Mafia? I mean, Aaron's personality is perfect for the trickster. No, I'm still playing New World. I'm doing all right. I typically play New World in the evenings when I'm done streaming. I have other games that I need to play, you know? But something has been worrying me since the day I came here. I couldn't stop thinking about all the strange rituals in the grove, and all the weird conversations about firstborns being doomed to die. I try not to think about it, but if the villagers were not willing to embrace the faith of Aristil, I didn't want to appear judgmental, but I was wrong. I should have trusted my instincts. There's great evil at work in this village. When Melissa and I decided to get married, she told me that she wanted to do it under the rites of Aristil. I hadn't asked her to do that, but she had already made up her mind. It was entirely her decision. She asked me to not tell Markle about it, and we tried to keep things quiet, but he found out about it anyway. Well, he grew more and more gloomy with every passing day. Did not understand what was going on until Melissa finally told me the truth, something that everyone else in the village knew except for me. Locals performed their wedding rites upstream from the owl on the boat. The bride is supposed to take off her wreath and send it floating down the stream, while she recites a horrible, profane oath that I do not wish to repeat. You see, when she gives away her wreath, she also promises her to give her firstborn to the river, body, mind, and soul. It may not happen right away, it may take years, but in the end, the river will always take what belongs to it. And Markle, he is a few minutes older than Melissa. Do you see? The people of Chili Creek believe that they worship the river, but these rites are not druidic in nature. They are not the rituals of the Green Faith or the cultic practices of some minor deity. No, this malevolent force, whatever it is, has a physical presence in this world. Markle has lost his mind. His parents swore to give him to this monster, and now it has depraved him of his sanity. He took Melissa to the Isle. That's probably where the monster lives, and where sacrifices are made to it. So the locals sacrifice their firstborns to the river, and the bridal wreath is part of the ritual? Not exactly. The locals are decent people. They don't kill their children with their own hands. This wreath is a sign of obedience. The future parents agree that the river can take their firstborns whenever it wants. It has a right to take their bodies or their minds. It can summon them at any time and demand services from them, and sometimes the river exercises that right. There's more. Markle was the firstborn son, the older twin. When he did this to me, he wasn't himself anymore. I believe that the river took control of him. Whatever monster the locals worship has been controlling his thoughts and actions. What must I do to save her? Took her to Pikefin. It's an island in the middle of the river. You can see it from here. Something drove him insane. The evil that has controlled this village for all these years, it lives on the Owl. Take one of the boats from the village and set her free. Need help. It's too late for me. I can already hear Aristil's hunting horn. My God is waiting for me. All that I ask is that you save my wife. Journey through this world. My journey through this world. My journey is over. We did this. Markle. Yeah, we know this. He wounded me and threw me into the river. I guess he thought I'd drown. Somehow I made it back to shore. Perhaps it was the old Deadeye himself who helped me, so that I could speak to you, Markle. But it wasn't his fault. He hasn't been himself. The evil of the river has driven him insane. He must be stopped at all costs. But if you can, if it's at all possible, try to save him too. Rest in peace. Save her. The cleric's breath is shallow and ragged. His quivering lips go still, his eyes close, and he passes away to his god. It wasn't peaceful. Can we loot him? Give me your stuff. The life of a loot goblin. Oh. Hello.
Let's have some fun.
That's a big boy.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
We're no match for land. Although it looks like we have the mouse bug where it's like blank. So let me try restarting the game, see if that fixes it. If not, we will restart the game entirely. Archers or machine guns? Land is a howitzer. I don't know what you're talking about. He's an absolute beast, pun intended. All right, no boat there. Okay, he's a Bradley fighting beak. Nah, the bug's still there. All right, we'll do a full close then. He's a Bradley. How about that? Yeah, it's an annoying bug, but hardly game breaking. I just like being able to see the icons and like see everything I'm supposed to be able to see. I didn't play in the beta, so. Like I haven't downloaded any like beta patches, and I'm only doing official patches.
Yet another obstacle.
Here we go. Get him, land. Yeah, I'm not doing beta patches. Yeah, they released it in the beta branch, which I'm not going to do. But, anything major that so far. At least that would affect me. Yeah.
Into the fray.
Nah, this particular bug, the whole mouse cursor bug, I've had that since launch. I've had that the entire time.
I got this.
Not new to me. Probably should buff, huh? We haven't buffed since we got out of the abyss, or since we retook Dresden, I should say.
Simply business.
What's up, Full Send Micro? How you doing? Another one bites the dust. And they're dead. Made the most ugly pun yesterday while I was waiting in a lineup. What was it?
Trust in yourself.
Hit me with it. What's the opposite of a lifted train? A locomotive. I like it. I like it. My daughter would roll her eyes so hard at that. Your customer service colleagues hated it. Yeah, who needs them? They just have no taste.
Rules are made to be broken.
Inimosi, Travisi. Inimosi, Travisi.
Absolutely beautiful. Okay. I think we're buffed and ready to go. To the island. What is more dangerous, the unpredictability of nature or the hostile intentions of another? A malevolent force hiding on this isle is as wild, volatile, and ruthless as the natural world, but it also has a cunning intelligence, devious and vindictive desire to keep away unwanted visitors. As soon as the commander reaches for the oars, the water around the boat turns into a thick sheet of ice that freezes the vessel in place. What would the commander do now? Avoid the hostile magic and watchful gaze of this unseen entity by sneaking into another boat undetected. Those who rely too much on magic are often defeated by simple non-magical solutions. The commander sneaks onto a different vessel and manages to remain undetected until the boat is safely away from shore. The commander sets off for the shore of the small rocky isle, but his journey does not go unnoticed, and it seems that someone on the isle does not like uninvited guests. Suddenly, the mist that arises from the surface of the river thickens into a dense cloud of fog. It blinds the commander and obscures his surroundings. Where's the shore? Where's the isle? The fog is so thick, the commander cannot even see the oar he's holding in his hands. What would the commander do now that he's blinded by fog? Perception. Close his eyes. It's time to navigate by sound rather than sight. The sound of running water, the splash of a fish, the wind rustling through the branches of the forest, the sound of a bird chirping on a shore far away. All of these sounds paint a picture in the commander's mind that no fog can hide. A light breeze slowly begins to dissipate the cloud of fog. The boat is headed straight towards the island. It will not be long before the commander reaches the black, rocky shore of the Pike Fen. We're Daredevil now. The rocky isle is a desolate and bare. Blue-gray lichen and a few sparse, straggling weeds are all that survive on its black, rocky shore. Further inland, the entrance to a cave gapes open like a toothless mouth. Suddenly, a violent gust of wind sweeps out from the entrance of the cave towards the river. The water, which was calm only moments ago, begins to swell into massive, foaming waves that threaten to smash the boat into the boulders along the coast. How will the commander reach the shore? Intimidate. Call out into the unseen force that casts this spell and demand to be allowed onto the isle. The commander's intimidating presence seems to frighten the storm into submission. The wind grows calm and the waves subside. He steers the boat down the river towards the isle and disembarks without any further complications. It's hard to believe that only moments ago this calm, lazy river was a maelstrom of raging waves and rushing currents. The air is still and peaceful. The howling gales and roaring winds have completely subsided. Drast audiobooks when I stop stuttering and dyslexia stops being a thing. The isle looks calm, but so did the river. Looks can be deceiving. The lichen-covered black boulders along the shore do not look like they have ever been disturbed. It would be easy to assume this isle is uninhabited. There are no bones or traces of any rituals. But after moving further inland, the commander sees Markle's boat. It has been carefully pulled up onto the shore beyond the reach of the waves. Noises can be heard from within the cave ahead. There's a shrill, angry voice, followed by the sound of a woman's scream. Okay, quick save. Well, shit. Disarm the trap.
Got this one. Is that a trap? Here we go again.
Beautiful.
Is that treasure?
So many traps.
Is that a trap?
Yes, that's a trap. But wait, there's more. It's all the traps.
All right.
Okay.
Take a look.
But wait, there's more.
What's going on here?
Jesus Christ.
Is that treasure?
No, that's a trap. Oh my God, there's so many.
Got this one.
Hey, it's free XP, right? Okay. All the traps are done. Of course, I say that, and there'll probably be 5 more right here. Anything over here? Oh. Hags. The cave is dark and cold. The ground is covered in a fog, and an icy current of air flows toward you from the depths of the cave. Water drips from the ceiling, and dim lanterns cast grotesque shadows on the walls. All these years, we've been worshiping the 3 of you. All our prayers to the icy real, all our sacrifices. Oh gods, and our children. It's been you the whole time? Melissa's huddled in a corner, clasping a withered wreath of grass and flowers to her chest. She looks like she's been crying. Standing in front of her are 3 horrifying old hags. Markle sits at their feet like a faithful dog. Thank you. Wife brought me a milkshake. This milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. What's the cost? About $3.50. It's a strawberry milkshake. Strawberry milkshake for the lactose intolerant husband. And what's so wrong with us, child? Hold on. Hold on. Let me test something real quick. Let's...
What is this voice? Close. Not quite what I want. Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Not good, though. 1, 2. Testing, testing. What is... Not sure. This'll work. More scratchy? Screechy? What about this? No. This sounds like shit. Little reverb? Yeah. Little reverb. We're in a cave after all. Little echo? Nah. Cheap radio, yeah. And what's so wrong with us, child? We did not wish to bring any harm to you or your brother, but unfortunately you have not given us what we were owed. Deliver to the river what is rightfully hers, and both of you can leave in peace. You're always so soft, Lavexia. You do what you're told, lass. Hand over that wreath or face the consequences. You won't escape us. You can run, but you can't hide from old Latinda. I mean, the voice mod is still there, right? Yeah. It's still there. Can we test it a little? Maybe that? Testing. No. No, 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 no. Okay. There we go. Loretta, Lavixia, my sisters, do you hear me? Do you know what's destined to happen? Must happen. Look who's arrived. This is the one whose face was revealed to us in the dark waters. He's arrived already? Well, that is a surprise. We dislike uninvited guests, but you're clearly strong and agile and smart. We appreciate those qualities in a person. Very well. Since you're here, you might as well come in.
Melissa, are you all right? Commander, Aristil be praised. Those things drove Markle crazy and made him kill my husband. I don't understand what they want. Please save us.
So you praise the old stag now, ungrateful child. Who has kept you fed and protected you from every danger? Did your mother worship the old hunter? How about your grandmother, or her grandmother before her? Did they offer him praise? I think not.
A little village with important traditions, old traditions that are honored and respected by everyone. Now, why does that sound familiar? Markle, what's wrong with you?
He's absolutely fine. He's a good boy, an obedient boy. He respects his elders, never talks back, and has respect for his mother river. Isn't that so?
Help me. Save my sister from me. The river always takes what belongs to her. Who are you?
Who are we? Perhaps we are the waves on the river, or the fish in the deep. Perhaps we're the mist on the water. Are we solid ice, or a raging storm? Why do you ask the question when you already know the answer? Haven't we already met between the two shores? My sister is wise, but she likes to speak in riddles. We are the three maidens of the river, generous to those on the water, and revered by those on the land. We fill nets with fish, we keep the filth of the abyss away from our people, and we ask for very little in exchange. Ungrateful mortals. We do everything for them, and what do we get in return? Nothing. Instead of being thankful for our protection, those ingrates have started praying to some old bowman.
So you've been deceiving the villagers. They think they worship the river. They have no clue that they're actually offering sacrifices to 3 hags.
Is this deceit? They pray to the river. Are we not the embodiment of the river? They make sacrifices. Do we not accept them? And when they ask for help, do we not help? Well, there's gratitude for you, mortals. We stay awake all night out of concern for their well-being. We fend off demons so they can feel safe, but instead of appreciating our efforts, they call us liars. If it was up to me, I'd make you.
The hag shakes her fist.
You shouldn't insult us like that. We find your accusations offensive. We're not mortal tricksters pretending to be gods. We are one with the river. The villagers have agreed to pay the price for our help. We offered them a fair bargain. The stupid girl decided to cheat us. If anyone here has fallen victim to deception, it's us.
Diplomacy now is risky, it seems. I mean, we have high enough checks where we can probably make both of these. What's going on here? I don't know. They did something to Markle. Made him kill Jernov. And then they ordered him to bring me here. And now they want?
We don't want much, child. Just your wedding wreath. Give it to us, and the two of you can leave in peace. After all, we have protected you from all kinds of calamities. We have provided your village with food. Don't we deserve your respect and gratitude for our gifts? Will you begrudge us the one thing that we ask of you?
Why do you need it? You've killed my husband. I'm a widow now. Why do you need my wedding wreath? I don't think they are the river. I think they've used the river to deceive the village, but killing them will probably bring calamity to the village because they're not going to be here to protect the village anymore. So they'll be vulnerable to demon attacks like everyone else is. Yeah, they have been protecting because there's no sign of demons anywhere on this area in this area. You recall Jernal's words. When the villagers cast away their wreaths, they promised to give their firstborns to the river. Why would the hags want a widow to complete this ritual? There can only be one answer. Melissa doesn't know it yet, but she must be pregnant with their firstborn child. So we either tell Markle to resist them or convince Melissa to give them the wreath. What did you do to Markle? How have you managed to take control of his mind?
How does the river control a leaf that falls into its stream? How does the sky control the fog that rolls in off the water? We didn't do anything. We didn't have to. He's a firstborn, and that means he belongs to us. In fact, he was promised to us before he was born. We kept him alive because we thought he might prove useful, and we were right. The river is patient. She doesn't need to hurry. She can take what belongs to her whenever she wants. That's right. He belonged to us before he was even born. He'll do whatever we tell him to do.
Melissa, you're with child. If you give them your wreath, you'll be giving away your child as well. What? So that's what this is all about. That's why you dragged me here. You didn't want the wreath. You wanted what it represents. You killed the man that I loved. And now you want to take my child away from me too? Never. I will not let that happen. So that means you are the reason I killed my brother-in-law. Thanks to me, my niece will never know her father. And now you want to take this child from her mother? I won't let it happen. I won't allow it.
Wait, what's going on? Are you trying to rebel against us, boy? Don't forget, you will belong to us for as long as you live. You cannot get rid of us, no matter how hard you try. We just have to say the word, and you will be under our control.
Markle grabs a stone from the cave floor and attacks the hag. You hear a disgusting crunching sound as Markle smashes the rock into the hag's arm. The hag shrieks and lashes out at the man, dealing him a powerful blow that causes him to fall to the floor unconscious.
Kill them, sisters. No one leaves this place alive.
Let's have some fun.
Okay.
The light, take you.
Let's see. Gave you a big fantasy. Did it give you a raging clue? That's one down. Ow. Rude.
The inheritor, guide my blade. No glory without risk.
So rude.
Damn you! It's your time to cease to exist.
Damn, son. Crit for 166. Yeah. A little bit of a hill. Okay, they're both alive. Hag's demise. And they're dead.
Victory is worth the pain.
Wow, okay. Okay, he's killing me too.
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
Okay. How do I get rid of that? So
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
give them both resistance.
I must withdraw. Remove curse, maybe? Nope.
Victory is worth the pain.
I'm all right.
Yo. What's up, Drast? The OG Drast. How you doing? And thank you for the host. Welcome, everyone. Trying to figure out how to stop this so I don't die. Have a good one, Drast. Soon we'll get you the shout out. is this? Griefers. No audio though.
So
There
it
it is.
attacks even though you click the interact with mouse over. It's good to know though. Definitely.
It looked like WoW Classic. Gray boars down. Your breath of life them. Yes, we can. Then we do this. So we have to make a strength check. So full strength. Here we go. And maybe one of these. Okay, so we can at
Missed me
least
already.
reduce the damage they take while they try to make their saves. Now we wait. They do not stack. And they don't stack with things that give them other things that give them the same effect. So she got the +4 from the strength of potion, but my guy did not, because something else, his belt of physical perfection already gives him +4 strength. So experiment. Nope.
We'll make things right.
Break enchantment. Nope.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
You're a good person. I like you.
I rolled a 20. What the hell? Okay. Let's try this. Hmm. That just isn't cutting it. Okay. Damn. Got nothing here. All right. I'm going to experiment and see if just letting my character go unconscious will get rid of this.
I'm getting my ass kicked.
Just hoping it doesn't kill me.
Rules are made to be broken.
Leave a bruise.
They have last stand, so they're hard to kill.
I'm getting my ass kicked.
I'm all right.
God, it hurts!
We're healing faster than we can.
I'm getting my ass kicked!
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
God, it hurts!
Okay.
I'm getting my ass kicked!
My health isn't going down.
God, it hurts!
Is it because of the resist?
I'm getting my ass kicked!
Which lasts for
God, it hurts!
a while.
Soot is restless. I
And
wonder
if
why.
I have to redo that fight, I'm fine with it. It was easy enough.
I'm getting my ass kicked! God, it hurts!
I welcome your company.
Hmm. Maybe that'll help. Nope. So the highest I can roll is a 37. Which isn't enough.
I'm getting my ass kicked!
But my health isn't going down. What the hell is going on?
God, it hurts!
I'm immortal now?
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
Oh, it's the ring of protection.
I'm getting my ass kicked!
That's what it is. Okay. So does that mean he just can't die from cold damage now? All right, let's take this off, see what happens.
God, it hurts!
I'm so confused. No. Nope. No white dragon armor. It's mithril. No one else can wear the heavy. So confused.
I'm getting my ass kicked!
Like his health won't go below 9 or 17 health.
God, it hurts!
What the hell is going on?
God, it hurts! I'm getting my ass kicked! God, it hurts!
Phantasmal healer. Okay, we're down to 2 HP. Up to 17. What the hell?
God, it hurts! I'm getting my ass kicked! God, it hurts!
He's got no buff on him that should be doing this.
I'm getting my ass kicked! God, it hurts!
19 minutes left on that. So what happens if we camp with it on?
I'm getting my ass kicked!
I've traveled some distance fulfilling this contract, but it's still better than doing a job for some jealous cuckold of a grocer whose wife's been a little too neighborly with the fellow next door. What? Sure, I took jobs like that when I was green. A man's gotta start somewhere.
Okay. It's all gone now. That was very, very strange.
Ah, a surprise.
Rabid rippers.
Let's see what we can do.
Classy Ember. She's got a monocle now. Okay. Very, very weird. So now that they're dead, what's going to happen to the village? Thank you for saving us from these monsters. I didn't think I was going to survive. And Markle, I thought I'd lost him forever. Sister, forgive me. I have no excuse for my actions. It's not your fault, I guess. Those hags were controlling your mind, weren't they? They would never have ensnared me if I had not been such an easy target. I really did not like Jerna. I was against your marriage. The hags used that to control me. I don't know if I ever be able to really forgive you. You're the only family I have now. What are the two of you going to do next? I will bury my husband in the ground, and then Aristil will be my witness. I'll soon have my hands full, but not here. I don't want to see this river ever again. It's my fault that your daughter will grow up without a father, but you know it's a daughter. I know that an uncle is no substitute for a parent, but I swear to do everything I can for her. Did you tell the villagers the truth? Do they know that they've been worshiping hags this whole time? I did, but they don't believe me. They don't want to believe the truth. They say it must have been a nightmare, or that Markle drank too much. They come up with dozens of different explanations because the truth is too terrible to bear. They keep practicing their rites. I wouldn't be surprised if another nasty creature comes to live on the Pikefin in a couple of years. I'm sure there are plenty of foul things that would gladly prey on these villagers and accept their sacrifices. I can't live among these people anymore. Figured out it was a girl, as they tell you at the very end. Markle, are you free from the evil influence of the hags? I am. The hags are dead. I am my own man now. Thank you. God, mythic swarm path. Don't tell me that you consumed them as well. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. I loved him so much. I thought we had a life ahead of us. It's time to say farewell. I'll pray to Aristil for you every day. Here, take this. It's an old family heirloom. I don't know how many generations it's been in our family, but now I want you to have it. Take it. Excuse me. Take it as a sign of my gratitude. I hope it'll help you on your path to victory. Swarm path eats anyone that may be considered dead already. Thank you for everything. I wonder if we can go talk to the villagers and convince them that what they say is true.
Here we go.
Nope, they're completely oblivious. Screw these guys. Bunch of crazy people.
And I'm trying to
This room has been freezing. And I thought like the AC was on. And I just leaned over and asked her, like, is the AC on or is the window open? Because we often will have our living room window open with a fan running, just to kind of circulate the air. And apparently she was scared that I was about to tell her it's too hot in here. It's fucking freezing. She's wearing fleece pants,
hoodie
one of my Drast hoodies,
with a shirt underneath it.
with a shirt underneath it, obviously.
2
pairs of socks.
2 pairs of socks. And slipper socks.
And slipper socks. Yeah, my hands are freezing too.
Toes are freezing.
Yeah. She was worried I was about to tell her it's too hot. Yeah, it is cold today. I'm glad for it. Wait. Why is there a demon army here? Can I put together an army capable of defeating them? Okay. And a blanket in your chair. Oof. All right. Because he's a fucking furnace, and it was plausible he was going to want the AC. Possible. It's been known to happen before. Wow. How does this work? Unavailable. Okay. Good hits. All right. You're now cold as fuck. I'm sorry. But it is the way of fall. This is the way. Damn good hit. Too bad that icy prison doesn't work. I mean, move to Massachusetts, you'll have plenty of ice. Wow, another demon army coming up behind me. Jesus Christ. Yeah, true. Not much different. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay. I forgot they have range. Easy. Easy. Now we have our two armies. Marksmanship. Yep. Witches. Bring them. Okay. Eh. Want to become famous? No, but you want to get banned. Bye, bot. They're out in force today, it seems. Someone is on the road. Brothers, sisters, I am having a vision. I see her, the holy martyr. There she is, standing before me as if we were alive, just like in her sacred image. And don't be ridiculous. And who is that? It's the commander. It's really them. What are you talking about? I'm not a vision. Oh, it's Ember. I'm alive. Instead of answering, Toil falls on her knees before the girl, and the others follow her example. What are you doing? Stand up. Stand up now. We'll do whatever the holy martyr asks of us. Where are you going? We're going to the unholy altar of Baphomet, the one shattered by the tears of our Ember and the righteous. The surviving Templars, led by the demon Asgarad, decided it was time to repair it and start offering up sacrifices again since she was no longer here. They started with our former cultists. They keep them captive and kill them one by one. We don't abandon our own people. We're going to free them and shatter the altar into dust while we're at it, along with the demon and his minions. I won't lie to you, Commander. We could really use some help. We have no time to gather reinforcements. Every hour we delay could mean death sentence for one of our brothers and sisters. If you and the preacher decide to help us, we'll be grateful till the end of our days. If not, well, we'll somehow have to handle it on our own. We'll help. We will help, won't we? Who are you? We call ourselves the Redeemed Brotherhood. Who we are? The short answer is we're all scum, convicts, deserters, looters, even a few former cultists. Those who heard our Saint Ember's preaching and decided it wasn't too late to do something better with our lives than throwing them into the abyss. Saint Ember. But she's an atheist. Not all of us were lucky enough to see her in the flesh, of course. Those who heard her sermons passed on her words to others. We even collected her teachings and turned them into a book. Our thinking was, though Ember herself may be gone, well, we thought she was gone, her words would live on. They continued to spread and save those who were lost. But I didn't say anything special. These are simple things everyone knows. Not everyone, it seems. Or perhaps they do know, but they don't know what to do with the knowledge. That's how people are. We need them. We need even the simplest truths explained to us so we can begin to live by them. I used to be a miscreant too, but I got the chance to mend my ways. Gods be praised for giving us a second chance. Yep, the cult of Ember. I'm okay with this. The gods are far away. Better praise the people who help each other to drag themselves out of the dirt. Once there were enough of us, we had the strength to fight back. So that's what we do now. We fight them everywhere we meet them. We didn't go with the queen. We decided someone should stay and keep an eye on the city and the surrounding area. Turns out we did the right thing since we met you here. Why are you calling Ember the holy martyr? Everyone knows that Ember perished in the abyss along with the commander and her other disciples, and thus became a martyr. Well, everyone thought until today. We really were in the abyss, but we're back now. What do you mean by disciples? Since when am I her disciple? Aren't you? You traveled in her party, listened to her preaching, fought evil at her side. I think we learned something from each other. What happened to your horns? I broke them off. I'm human, not a demon. No matter what they say, I am human. Were you called a demon because you're a tiefling? Being a tiefling is only half the problem. The real problem is this. The more evil you do in your life, the less good is expected of you. You stole yesterday, you'll also steal tomorrow. Isn't that fair? But if everyone treats you like garbage, all you can ever be is garbage. What other choice do you have? And if a thief has horns on their head, well, everyone knows what that means. They're a demon. What else could they be? I used to rob and kill, got convicted, sentenced to hard labor, escaped, and started over. I thought there was no other path for me. Honest people refuse to accept me. I don't owe them anything. I've done too much evil to try to repent. I've lived like a demon in the abyss. Nothing but evil in my past and my future. And then I ran into these guys. I heard them praying for the demon's salvation. Well, at first I laughed. Then it hit me. What if I really do have a choice? What if there is something else in life beyond this never-ending nightmare? I spoke with those who'd seen Ember in the flesh, listened to them recite her sermons from memory, and then I broke off my horns. And with that, I broke away from my former life. Thank you for coming back. I'm really happy for you, for all of you. I think it is I who must thank you. You brought me back from the abyss. You brought me back to humanity. No. We haven't met before. How could I be to thank for you changing your life? Maybe my words helped a little, but you did the most important part yourself. Turda, what are you doing here? You spared me before, though I deserved nothing but death. After that, I vowed to dedicate the life you gave me to spread the teachings of our little preacher among the people. Fortunately, I was not alone. Now go. I wish you luck in the battle. I'll come to your aid. Thank you, Commander. With both you and Ember the righteous on our side, we cannot lose. Bless us, O righteous one. I'm not a goddess to dole out blessings, but I wish you success. Wow. She truly has her own cult now. I'm jealous. I want a cult. Okay. The fort is besieged by an enemy. Okay. Okay. Get. Okay.